God, it's the Superman week, man. I'm telling you, it's a good time to be alive right now. We got a lot of stuff going. So we just had Ironheart that just finished up. So we're
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to talk about that. Of course, the big reveal here of Mephisto. So
Yes.
I hope that you've watched it by now. If you haven't, then it's like spoiler alert. But then also we got Superman to talk about this week. There's been some stuff going on with Fantastic Four. I, like you, probably am not really watching any of it because I don't want to know any more information.
Nah,
But
I'm not.
at the same time, there's some interesting stuff that I think I saw a little bit earlier. We got to talk about some comic book stuff because
Mm-hmm.
Captain America now is if change. We said reboot, but really it's like they're moving the timeline a little bit. That's
Yep.
essentially what they're really doing. And then Godzilla is just showing up everywhere, man. So we got to talk about that. Also, yes, I am currently drinking out of our Everybody Gets a Symbiote mug here, which is currently up on the Keeping It Comic merch shop right now. Check it
Mm-hmm.
out, keepingitcomic.com. Everything, the link is going to be down below in the description, so you can check that out. I know it looks like you got your little mug over there too.
Yeah,
No,
mine is just a little customized for me. Got my little
fair,
character, but
fair.
you can get this one right on the website too. Um, and
Well,
I'm
let's
always rocking
everybody gets
it.
to see. So yeah, I got some. We got some new merch coming out, which I know you've been working on this week. So we'll see. That should
Yeah.
be up sometime later on this week. But what's going on with you, man? How you been?
Oh man, I'm a little out the loop with some things. I didn't get to read no comics last week as I was on vacation.
That's fair.
So it's a catch up game, but there's a lot of good things I want to talk about. I did start, not finish, but I did start Ironheart.
Okay.
But I do know some things. I've seen some scenes, so it's not a spoiler for me. So
All right.
Definitely ready to talk about it.
All right, so we can dive directly into Ironheart since that's like the hot thing right now that literally just ended last week.
Mm-hmm.
So the I mean, well, we can go to some specific stuff, but my overall thoughts on the show, it wasn't bad. Like I really thought that like overall that it was a good series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it once again move the needle in terms of like the grand scheme of like the MCU or anything like that? No, I don't think it like really kind of like does anything from that
It had no
perspective.
effects, I don't think.
Yeah, except for basically the very, 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 very ending. Like that is the biggest takeaway, and I know what got a lot of people excited in regards to like, okay, well, what's going to be happening next year? So we're gonna I have some theories and some thoughts, but we'll kind of like expunge that as we go a little bit later on. But overall, like pretty good overall series. Wouldn't say great. Wouldn't say great. There's some funny stuff, man, that happened in the series that I just really didn't love. Right? Like I didn't love the ending.
Oh, you
Like, I
mean
didn't
funny in a bad way? Okay,
funny in a
okay.
bad way. Like I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the fight, the whole like final fight scene between her, the Hood. Like I wasn't a fan of that whatsoever. I thought that was like really, it was kind of whack. Like, if you ask me, like,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. And again, this is as someone who's still watching it. And
yeah,
yes, people in the chat, just so you know, if you chime in, I'm okay with spoilers for this. This is not Superman for me. But but my thing is where she is still a noob, okay?
yeah.
You can't really expect her to have that huge fight. All the other newer stars had someone. Peter Parker had Tony. Kate Bishop had Hawkeye. You get what I'm saying? Like there was people to make it more of a big bang of a finale fight. There's no way to do this unless you make her kind of cheap.
So the thing about it is, it's like it wasn't even about the fact that it was like a big, like a big massive like ending arc fight. It wasn't that for me. It was just the fact that like I understood what they were trying to do. They wanted to fight magic with magic, right?
Yep,
And
they stated that at the first episode.
that's okay. However, the problem that I had with it was that like I actually would have preferred had they stuck to the idea
Mhm.
of her using her tech and her intellect, her knowledge base
To
to be able
overcome
to
the
figure
magic.
exactly like
Okay, agree.
like
Okay.
that would have been far more interesting to me it brings back the idea of, again, oh wow, like there really should be no way that this person should win, but oh my goodness, look at how they went ahead and did this anyways, right? Like, you know what, in a creative way. Like, we didn't really get that. And for me personally, I just thought that that was just like, that was my biggest takeaway from this, was just like, whoa, that
Yeah,
like this big crescendo that you build us up to, and then it kind of just ended that way. I just feel like that was kind of just whack, to
I can
me.
agree with that fully.
And also the hood didn't really do much.
They didn't capitalize on this character at all,
No.
honestly. Honestly, from what they did with him, and people can disagree, he can kind of sit this out.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, I feel like the only reason he was a gimmick character, because the only reason why he was there was just to be able to introduce Mephisto. Like, that was it. Like, that
Yeah.
was the only reason why he was there. It was, okay, here's the link to Mephisto,
Mhm.
right? And then the question now is like, what does that pay off? Like, what does that mean now in the end? You know,
I'm
I was
hoping this leads into a lot of crossover things, seeing how, you know, the situation where Mephisto has ties to Wanda's kids. You
Yeah.
know, we have Agatha season 2, whatever that might look like. You know, we have Vision coming out. So I'm hoping they don't just one story Mephisto and make him a multi-purpose villain.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Like, I do think that they won't do that. I do think that there's going to be a purpose for him, but at the same time, it's like we've seen them give us a lot of like things to build out, and then never actually, you know, build it out in any sort of which way, right? So like, we
Yep.
still don't know what's going on with with Shang-Chi's rings. Like, we still have no idea what's going on with like Doctor Strange and that big ass eye in the middle of his head, you know,
Yep.
and him going to go take care of incursions. We have no idea what's going on with
Listen,
these
we
characters,
still
right?
don't even understand why people were sent to different universes when they were supposed to be sent home. There's a lot we don't understand.
Yeah, like 100. Don't hold your breath. We won't. By the way, what's going on, Brick, Dalton, and what's going on with you guys? Nigel, what's going on? I appreciate you, Nigel. Appreciate you. Thank you. So yeah, it's just one of those things, man, where apart from that, right? Fun. It was a fun series. I will say the same. It's the same thing too. Like, with a lot of her fight scenes, the fight scenes is the same thing. I saw her using too much of her like her physical prowess, as opposed to, because, you know, so here's the thing. Like, I know a lot of people don't love the third Iron Man movie, right? I know a lot of people don't love it. But some of my favorite scenes are the scenes where like he doesn't have his suit and he's still getting it done, right? Like when he had to fight the chick in the like restaurant or whatever, and he was using, you know, I think he used like the microwave or something like that to like blow her up or whatever. Like, that was really like intelligent when he went to like their base, right? Where where the Mandarin was at, aka Trevor. Like, you know, watching him using gadgets and, you know, just like smarts or whatever to be able to like take out the guys that were on the outside and then be able to get, like, that stuff was fun to me. And I didn't see her do enough of that in the show. And there was too much like, oh, she can fight. And I'm like, she's not supposed to be able to, you know. And granted, it wasn't like, oh, crazy super tactical fighting. It was just the fact that she was even attempted it in the first place. Like, she's like 100 pounds soaking wet, bro. Like,
I think they missed out on the visuals of making the suit more quirky. Maybe I'm using the wrong word, but what I mean by that is, like, you know, for example, she goes to throw a punch, thrusters kick in. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, okay, I get what
make it because she physically isn't going to do much. You get what I mean? Yeah. But now just imagine her suit going to throw a right hand and thrusters push the arm.
Right.
Those type of things would have made it a lot more realistic for the character, I think.
For sure. See, what Brick is saying here is like basically what I'm saying. It's like, she except the diner scene, right? The diner scene where like they all came together, which I don't think that you've probably gotten to that yet.
No.
Where like she uses like tanks and stuff, like she really does come off more like a physical fighting combat person, as opposed to, like you said, like Brick said, MacGyver. Like, MacGyver is like, oh shoot, I'm gonna use this gadget. You know what I mean? Like that, and that was not what we got from her. And that was disappointing to me. This is the thing. We got enough brute force characters in the MCU. We got enough of them. I like
Yeah.
the smart, intelligent fights. You know what I mean? That's what I like. So
I agree with that.
That's really kind of like one of my gripes. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty of it all. Mephisto. That was fun. That was fun. That was a fun way to introduce him.
So here's my question. Do you think he's going to be better than the other Mephistos that we've seen throughout Marvel? Not MCU. I'm speaking on Marvel, because remember, we had a Mephisto, for example, I think both Ghost Riders had a Mephisto in it.
I've erased those movies out of my
brain. Yo, the first one wasn't that bad. It was the second one that just did it for me.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. So hold on, let's backtrack on this. I gotta say, the biggest gripe about Ryu show is how much they tried to copy old Iron Man gimmicks from his previous movies. But that's the thing, though. Like, what did she try to copy? I don't really see where there's some correlations. Sure, but like copying, I don't necessarily think I agree with you on that one. You know, like I felt like a lot of what she did felt original to Riri. Right, and how Riri would go about doing some of these things. Iron Man had a little bit more savvy. Riri had a little bit more grit. You know what I mean? I just felt like it was very different for me personally. So you'd have to explain what you mean by that, so that I could get a greater understanding.
Mephisto in more episodes. The show needed a Agatha episode 5 moment, tie all the previous episodes together.
Okay, that I can agree with.
Okay, I can see where you're going with that.
I can agree with her using the school's computer system as a bot for competing. Yeah, see,
that was actually funny though when it was like, you've been expelled.
Here she comes stumbling down.
And that was no matter what you want to say, that was clever how they spell Ironheart, and she's the A that's knocked out basically on the ground. That was clever though.
That was pretty smart. Yeah. So so Mephisto, so I think that they did a great introduction. It left me wanting more. Like, I'm intrigued. I'm like, okay, well,
he looks good as Mephisto.
Yeah, well, that's it. I can't not look at him and not think about Borat, but it's nice. I can't help myself.
Yo, that movie's hilarious.
It's nice. Yeah, the title cards were fire. The title cards were absolutely fire. So, like, I agree with you on that. So, like I said, there were some good things about it. Mephisto does look like pretty badass. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, he does look pretty good. What I'm expecting to see though is, I assume, like, we'll more so get him, like, I do believe that Marvel does want to go in a route where they start introducing more like a mystic sort of like section of the MCU. Suns, right? And I think, say that again.
Aren't they doing a Midnight Suns? So it would make sense they start tapping into that.
Yeah, so I think that's what they plan on doing with him, is just kind of like using him for that aspect of it. I don't think that they're gonna have him be like Thanos, or I was gonna say, be like, I don't think
he could like that. He could be a Thanos, I think, but it would be TV show Thanos, not MCU. I think he might be something that ties in with all the shows.
Maybe that could be it. Like, if you mention like Midnight Suns, I could see something where he ties in. If I believe I heard that like Elizabeth Olsen, I do believe that she said that she's done with Marvel stuff, but if she does come back, I can see them, like you said earlier, like kind of go in a little bit with the idea of, like what's going on with, or shoot, if they do an Agatha season 2, 100%.
Remember I said that. Yeah, and I can see it with Vision as well. If you start bringing in, I don't know if she's fully done. She might be done for now. I just don't know if she's fully done. I did see that she said she was done with the Marvel stuff, but we got to see how it goes. Also, it was funny too, because when I first seen that he was playing Mephisto, the first thing I said in my head, I don't know if you ever seen Talladega Nights. Say you like crepes, Bobby, or I'll break your arm.
No, he did have a vibe, man. The vibe was legit, man. Like I'm not, like I said, man. Like he did well. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. Like he did well. Like I was 100% thoroughly impressed and enjoyed it. Like I think personally though, where I'm at with just like, so in general, like those type of things are kind of difficult for me. Not difficult for me to watch, but I'm not like super. I'm usually not super into a character like Mephisto, right? So like that wasn't
Mhm.
really for me, like the reveal. So I know a lot of people were really, really, really excited about it. I personally was just like, okay, that was a cool ass intro. Like, that
Yeah.
was a really cool intro, like to do for that character. And I'm intrigued to see what else they do. But I did have a feeling to a certain extent, just to backtrack a little bit. I have a feeling to a certain extent. I'm just like, is this a waste to introduce
Mm.
him into a show like Ironheart? That was a question that I had.
And to put some emphasis on what you're saying as well, I don't know if you recall when Agatha had first ended. I was disappointed. I was like, why did we not get Mephisto yet?
Mhm.
I said it. We should have already had him. So I can kind of agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, like especially being that was a successor to the
WandaVision.
WandaVision series, it would have made a lot of sense if you had brought in Mephisto at that point, right?
Especially since we all know he's the reason the kids are still alive.
Mhm. Yeah, right.
Um,
Correct.
oh, I think this is towards you. Can you pull up with Nigel said?
Yeah, I will. I wanted to respond back to Betty. He was like, "Yo, I completely off topic, but just got into the theater, and Jurassic Park was mid."
I mean, honestly, what are we expecting at this point, though?
What was the last one that wasn't mid? What's the question that I
The,
have
the
to
original series, and it was
Okay,
number 2.
fine. Like,
Number 2, the original. I'm telling you, that was it.
the rest of them have been mid at, well, no, actually, the first, I think, like, start of the new trilogy series or whatever, the new group of them all, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that
No,
bad.
I'm not saying it
I
was
enjoyed that
bad,
one.
but we said what was a hit.
We
I'm
did
gonna,
say mid. We did say mid. No, mid is literally like mid
yeah,
tier. So,
yeah.
oh man. All right. So Nigel brought this up. He was like, they tried the whole villain before she was not. Then she escaped from the cave elevator. Then she went against her co-workers. It was a bunch of parallels between Riri and Tony.
Hold on, I just
But
want to say, I honestly hate that elevator scene. I thought they misutilized that like crazy.
yeah, because it wasn't, oh shoot, let me use my intellect and my smarts. Like, you see what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah,
there wasn't enough Riri intelligence throughout the entire series. Come on, y'all. I'm not
they
the only
wasted
one
that.
that feels some type of way. Like, I was looking for some big. This is my thing. Did they feel like there was like the big brain stuff was going to be
No,
too much over our heads? Is that what they thought?
I don't know, but there wasn't enough wow moment. Like what I was expecting from her was more of think about like Black Panther's sister. What's her name? Shuri. Her type of intelligence going on. Because when you watch Black Panther and you see his sister doing stuff, you're like, bro, did she just hijack a car by just throwing that small little ball on it and that was virtual?
Even think about it this way. I know a lot of people don't like the Wakanda Forever movie, right? But look at look at how she fought Namor. She
Yeah.
wasn't trying to like body the dude. She was using her smarts once again, her intellect. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, that type of stuff to me is interesting. They did not use who her character is supposed to be from like a brain power perspective. They did not use that enough. The
I'm
Doom,
sorry. This made me laugh real quick. Hold on. He
yeah.
said, yo, Jay said, were there dinosaurs? If yes, I'm going to watch it because I'm still a kid at heart that loves dinosaurs.
What's going on, Jay? What's going on, Worky?
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, so I don't know. I get what you're saying, but like the parallels to me are, it's not like fully there, just because the way that she went about doing it wasn't the same, like, at all. You know what I mean? Like the desire, the motivations, like all those things. Like, somebody just said the motivations it just wasn't the same. So I get what you're saying. I think that like I think what I see, I don't know if this is what you're doing, Nigel. I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but I just feel like people have this like this thought like, oh shoot, like this is supposed to be the Iron Man successor, the Iron Man successor. And it's like they've never portrayed her to be that way in the MCU. And for some, I think sometimes with that mentality subconsciously, we're like looking for reasons to be upset. You know what I mean? Oh, this is too close to this.
You know what it is?
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of that happen. And I'm like,
hold on.
There are other reasons to be upset about Ironheart.
I have to stop you though. I got to stop you. And this is from personal experiences. Yeah. So I'm the one that got my sister into the MCU. She had no knowledge of Marvel at all before that. Yeah. Okay. And even she asked me, she's like, is this supposed to be the new Iron Man? Because it's Ironheart and they both have robots or whatever you want to call those suits. Yeah. I don't think your normal average people are understanding this is not supposed to be the next Captain America type situation. They're not understanding that.
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead, do you think?
So I feel like that plays a major factor in what you were saying. And I'm starting to think like, obviously us super fans, we understand this. Whether we've read comics or played certain games, we understand she's supposed to be something different. But I think a big percentage of the people have no clue who she is. And that's why they think it's a copy and paste.
So I can see what you're saying, right? And I can pick up what you guys are putting down. I just think, I'm trying to be careful that like our critique, you know what I mean? Because I like Nigel is someone that's dialed in. I think just based on what I'm saying. So I think I get what you're saying, but like I just think that like there's like it's not a subconscious or whatever bias I think towards like Ironheart a little bit here, and I just want to make sure that we're doing it in a way that is honest, right? Because like I said, there's multiple things to pick at with Ironheart. But with that being said, I still enjoy the series. But I can see where you're talking about. Like the biggest thing for me, like I said, I'm going from my perspective is I just wanted more big brain stuff because she is.
I agree.
Williams.
And someone else said it in the chat. I'm sorry, I've lost where it is, but it was Brick. He said, I don't think the cave and the elevator seems. Oh, no. That's not the one. Sorry. Someone said in here too, though. They was like, when she didn't take down the elevator, they was like, what? And I agree. Why isn't the brain being utilized for her?
Correct. And that's it for me.
I could agree with that. But what I'm seeing so far, I got one more episode left. I will say though, it's a decent show.
Yeah, so it's a decent show. I would say like if you asked me to force me to give a rating to it, I would say it's probably a 6 out of 10. Right? That's just where I'm at with it. Right?
I could agree with that.
It's a 6 out of 10. It's in the mid category.
Yeah, I don't see myself watching it all over again, but it's doing what it has to do.
Right, correct. Like it was fun. You know what I mean? There were some moments in there. There were some moments where I was just like, all right. And at the very end, I'm just like, towards the end, I was like, okay. And then at the very end, I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm interested
now. Now, I do have to ask you because this has been picking my brain. Okay.
Yeah.
What are your feelings though on this whole thing with Godzilla every friggin' where, bro? Because
man,
I mean, at this point, I'm starting to think he is a Nexus event.
So Godzilla, first and foremost, they've been doing some crazy stuff with Godzilla recently, right? And some of these comics, these Godzilla versus comics, have been duds. Like some of them have been absolute duds, bro. Like they haven't been good. But then some of them are funny, right?
Yeah.
Like the one with Hulk, hilarious, man.
Spider-Man is still my favorite as far as funny.
Spider-Man is next level funny because you had the whole MJ and Black Cat thing was too funny.
Too funny,
man. But like I don't know. This is all supposed to be leading up to like some type of different big event, right? I believe that this is supposed to be. Go ahead. You go ahead and talk, and then I'll look it up and I'll confirm.
So actually, I'm not too sure what it was. Originally, I thought it was just a promo because I know they had the new Godzilla movie coming. I don't think it came out yet. But then I was reading more into it, and I seen that they actually did a team up with please do not bash me in the comments. I could be saying the name wrong. I think his name is Toho, the guy who does the Godzilla comics and stuff, and it's for the 70 anniversary. So I'm not sure what direction they're going.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm seeing right now there is
Godzilla is the leader of the free galaxy.
So we've had the Fantastic Four one, which wasn't good in my opinion. The Hulk one was pretty good and funny.
It was good, yeah.
Spider-Man was good. X-Men and Avengers.
I didn't like the X-Men one.
You didn't like X-Men?
No, I didn't like that one.
Okay. Avengers. I didn't read the Avengers one. That was the one that came out before Thor, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to X-Men and I was like, all right, this is not getting better. So we're skipping. and then we had Thor, and Thor was bananas. Like Thor was absolute bananas. You know what I mean? So like so they do these crossovers a lot, right? I mean, they do these crossovers a lot. So, you know, there's like DC got Sonic right now. I think DC also had Godzilla recently as well. They've done a couple other ones with this Predator. Predators had a couple because we had in the past like 6 months, I believe that we've had a Predator versus
that last Alien one really had me. I know people didn't like it, but I actually liked it.
Yeah, Alien versus Avengers was interesting. There is the Predator series, so Predator versus Black Panther that kind of fizzled out a little bit. Predator versus Spider-Man, I'm actually enjoying a lot right now as well. So,
they not playing on that one.
Yeah, that was been a lot of fun. So they've been doing every now and again they do these different crossovers, right? And I think what these crossovers do is it's kind of a way to be able to bring in an audience that maybe not as interested in potentially maybe just Marvel, but maybe they're just interested in like Godzilla and they'll read a Godzilla story, right? So I think that's like kind of why they do it, or they just want to have some fun. Like if it's, I hope it's the latter, because the latter is hilarious. Like the latter is the best part.
Did you see that last comment we had?
No. What happened? Oh, X-Men. Yeah, I mean that's what had me lose faith. Honestly, if it wasn't for like we'll get to the Captain America kind of reboot, shifted canon, whatever you want to call it in a second. If it wasn't for someone commenting and saying, "Yo, this joint was fire," I would not have read Thor versus God or Godzilla versus Thor. I would not have read it.
So those are that's the thing. I read those only for the fact of they're kind of my relaxed, funny animes. Comics.
Yeah.
Sort of like, I read Jeff the Land Shark. I'm not reading that to be like, oh shoot, like, you know what I mean? I just think Jeff is hilarious.
Yeah.
By the way, Quano said Godzilla is the guest character error. You'll see him on Saturday Night Live soon. I can see it now. Awesome. Yo, I was just, they reached out and wanted me on the comic, and I was there.
Yeah, they had to bring the production team up.
And I don't know if you know too, there's also Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe. That's a series, and they done gave Godzilla the Iron Man suit.
What the hell is happening here? What the hell is happening here?
Yeah, let me.
Is this like, is this coming soon? Like, is that what's happening?
Yeah, hold on.
So, okay, so this is what this is all building up towards.
I just sent it to you. You just have to scroll down a little bit and you'll see it.
All right, I'll pull this up over here if that's gonna be the case. So, oh gosh, all right. So let's talk. let's pull this up and talk about this. So Godzilla versus Marvel crossover introduces Iron Godzilla fusion. The F. All right, so
watch when you go down a little bit. You're about to be like, bro, how are you gonna stop him now?
The King of Monsters continue to tear the path. Words. Incredible Hulk. As big as these confrontations, they were almost okay. All right, Godzilla destroys the Marvel universe. Will arrive next.
Yep.
So after Thor, right? After Thor,
yep.
This is what comes, which makes sense, right? Because
scroll down a little bit
further.
Yeah, there's a picture. There you go.
This what in the Power Ranger Zord is going on here? What the hell? Zordon, what are you doing, fam? Like,
yo, I'm about to pull out my little dagger flute. That's
exactly what this looks like, bro.
Yo, how does the suit come on him? Is it nanotech or all the pieces like a building the size of a warship is like his pinky?
Mecha Godzilla
with the PC mod.
This is wild, bro. What? See a kaiju film, Marvel U. Listen, we may have to just cover this just for the sake of funsies, man. Y'all gotta laugh with us on this one.
Look, see, someone else got it. They was like, Brick was like, I like the Green Ranger. Yo, Brick, don't. Look, you can't even hate on the Green Ranger. This man spent 2 or 3 episodes. He jumped in their Megazord, kicked them all out. Yo, he took one of their guns and threw it at them. Like the Green Ranger was different.
Yeah, see, the thing about it is, I knew that they were gonna kind of. I was wondering where they were going with this, right? Because they brought in like the GMK Godzilla for Thor, right? So that was like, okay, well, if you're doing this, then like, what does this all lead up to next? Like, that's the question. So now we know. Now we know this is what it leads up to, guys.
Someone said, just give it up. Wait, where to go? Oh. Just give it up. Let my man make his Power Ranger run. We don't need that. Then he said, Quano said, I'd be wondering if anyone in these writer rooms ever has the balls to say, this idea sucks, bro.
Nah, yo, they just be like, let him cook. And then he cooks, and you just like,
Iron Man suit? Yes.
Yes, let's do this one.
Yo, if he comes on the next issue with a Pokeball, I'm done. I'm retiring.
So I'm telling you this right now. I'm definitely pulling this. Like this is not a question. This is not an and or if or but or either. No, I'm pulling this joint, bro. Like I'm reading the heck out of this, bro. You kidding me? You absolutely kidding me? Hold on.
Who made the suit for him?
Who cares?
I do. Because I don't need you. They better have a panel.
You want to give me reasons for this? I don't need this. I don't
Listen,
reasons, bro.
They need a panel just showing pieces of the suit going on him.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
A train for his thighs.
I'm trying to look it up. Like, when does it actually release? Godzilla.
Yo, I'm done. We gotta end the stream. He said Godzilla's Jarvis AI is Mr. Miyagi.
Hold on. So this comes out this month. This is next week.
Next week, Mothra is coming in with the Infinity Stones for this one.
Yeah, yo, this is about to hit. Let me show you all this. Hold on. It's here. It's here. Look at this.
Oh, part 1. Yep. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me see that cover.
July 16th, y'all. Y'all see this?
Who's that? Spider-Man, Hulk, Fantastic. Yo, everyone he's been fighting.
Everybody and their mother. Everybody. Sorry, not mother. Everybody and their mother. This is different. So this is Jerry Duggan. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be Jerry Duggan. It's gonna be right in this. All right.
I'm interested. I'm gonna have to read it.
Look out, New Yorker. Previously dormant Godzilla has been angrily awoken and begun carving a path of annihilation as Earth's mightiest heroes band together to try and stop its cataclysmic rampage. But when their combined efforts fail to slow the bringer of destruction, y'all hear this? The bringer of destruction. Earth's heroes are forced to go Earth's heroes are forced to go to extraordinary lengths to try and bring Godzilla down, including joining forces with Earth's most devious. You had me at villains. When you said villains, I'm good.
I'm telling all of you guys now, if this is Marvel's way of distracting us from their half-written stories they're doing, I'm with it. I'm with it.
This seems fun. This seems silly enough to where I would definitely figure this out. Plus, how is the King of Monsters connected to the mysterious metal vibranium? All right, they've gone too far. They've gone too far. This is where they've gone too far. Stop.
Yo, Brick said he read the description. Now you got to cover it. No takey backsies. I'm already hooked.
What does this mean for Wakanda? There's too much stuff going on with Wakanda right now. You got like 616 Wakanda. Then you got what's going on in the Ultimate Universe Wakanda. There's too much stuff going on in Wakanda. You some Predator versus. Wakanda always got some secrets, y'all. Can we stop? They got secrets upon secrets upon secrets. What is going on in Wakanda?
Listen, they got so many secrets. They be forgetting they have secrets.
Right. Like,
a few times they've been like, I forgot about that.
I didn't tell you about this one. Oh, yeah. Damn it. I thought this one had already been covered. No, I'm good. This is a 5-part series.
Yo,
this is a 5-part series.
Can you bring up what Quanos just said? This is
5-part series, bro.
This is about to be comment of the night.
Godzilla isn't the villain here. If you ever watch a Godzilla movie in reverse, it's about a benevolent lizard rebuilt its cities and going into the ocean. The problem is that we're not watching it the right way. That's what it really is. At the end of the day, we're not watching it the right way. No? You're right.
Yo,
you're right.
That's hilarious.
I'm hooked. I'm set up. I'm all for it. Who's doing the art? Javier Guerrero. Okay, all right. We'll see what happens. Who was doing the other ones? All right, I'm going not too far on this rabbit hole.
I'm not
sure. I'll be doing research for the next 45 minutes if we continue to go on this path. All right. So what else we gotta talk about? Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is crazy.
Oh, let's talk about Cap. So I gotta ask y'all the question. What do y'all think? Like, truthfully, what do y'all think about Cap being changed now to being unfrozen after 9/11?
I have some ups and downs myself.
Oh damn, Nigel.
What happened?
He told me to wait to read Imperial. What kind of got secrets to?
Oh man.
I can't wait.
Man.
It's like manga, you have to read it backwards. That's funny. Wow.
My thing is this. I'm liking somewhat of the direction they go with the whole new Captain America. This whole series. I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah,
that's cool and all. It changed my opinion because I told you before, I've never been big on reading Captain America comics. His comics have never been interested to me. But my question is this: like, how much can we rebrand these major characters? At some point, we gotta go to the next character.
Yeah, I hear you, but keep this in mind too. Peter Parker hasn't aged for the past 70 years. So you also bro, Peter, how long has Peter Parker been in his 20s? It's been a long time.
Listen, there's got to be an answer. We finally figured out why Ash Ketchum has been 12 his whole adventure of Pokemon. Okay, so there's got to be an answer for Peter.
Oh man, the thing about it is I get it, right? They just kind of wanted a way to be able to introduce and tell a story from a different angle. So I'm not really upset about it. I'm actually very interested in the story. Like, I read the comic and I was like, first and foremost, I know Chip has done some great work. Chip Zdarsky, he's done some great work before with like Daredevil stuff like that. So like I think he's a phenomenal writer. And I do believe that he can do well with the story and pay it off in a really good way. So I'm excited about about what Chip
Okay, so it's not just me. Okay.
What happened?
Someone else said Cap comics haven't been interesting since Secret Empire. I thought it was more like, I know Captain America is huge when it comes to Marvel.
Yeah.
It just, his comics have never intrigued me.
Yeah, so his comics typically tend to be like rather boring, in a lot of ways. But Captain America in other people's comics is pretty good. Like
Facts.
usually.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like how he's been.
He's a feature artist.
Yeah, like have him feature. He's great as a feature. Like him as the main cog in the story. Like really not that. Although the last volume of Cap was pretty good because it had like an arc where it was like him, Thor, and like Spider-Man, and they were trying to like fix something that happened in Thor with that happened as a result of like Thor. I don't remember the entire story, but I just remember that being kind of like a fun little arc. Some of you guys might have read it, but I don't know. For someone who's not really been that interested, like you said, in Captain America comics, I thought this was an interesting way to sort of kind of like modernize Cap a little bit, but not go too far off the rails. Because I've been seeing a lot of people saying questions like, yo, what happened to Falcon? What happened to this character? What happened to that character? And I'm like, well, they're still there. Like they're not. The thing about it is, it's like the way they did it is not a way to erase anything. It's more to kind of progress the story along.
So I actually want to respond to something I seen. So where to go? I think it was Nigel. So please correct me. Oh yeah, here it is. So Nigel says, but y'all like absolute DC. No, same, but different. Here's the thing that I like about the absolute DC compared to what I was just referring to is that they are still the same characters. They just made them darker. I've been wanting DC to give us darker stories for years on top of years. Their stories are always way too light. So I feel like they use this whole absolute thing to be like, you know what? We're going to give you the dark side to DC Comics that the fans have been asking for. It's not a rebranding for them. They just made them completely darker with all of them.
Yeah, I mean, a few characters in Marvel too, like have been kind of rebooted. If you want to look at it that way, like if you look at Spider-Man, like Brand New Day, like that, he's been sort of kind of like rebooted as a character, right? So like there've been a lot of different ways that they've kind of gone around and changed up a lot of different arcs. Look at Storm's arc. Like we've never seen Storm like this before, right? In Marvel Comics.
No, so Storm is on a run.
They've done really good work here with this. So for me, like I think a lot of people I saw were kind of getting a little frustrated with the fact that they were changing some things, and I'm also just like, this is also issue number 1.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, like wait until we get to like issue 5, 6, and then
no,
like,
and
what the F are we doing here? Then it's like, okay, cool. But I feel like people overreacted already.
It has my attention though.
Yeah,
it was good enough to grab my attention, so I rate this really high on my scale. You get what I'm saying? It's not that I'm trash talking it. It was more like, let's be honest, if we wasn't doing what we do, keeping it comic, I don't think I would have ever checked it out because it's just like, oh, it's just Cap again.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm just catching up on some of the comments here. That's why they rush Venom War and the Krakoa comics. Yeah, typically there's like a end. They have like an end goal that they want to get to, just so that they can introduce. So I think like Venom War was really sad because like with Krakoa, I don't feel that bad about it because like that joint lasted like 17 years. So
Krakoa was a headache.
It wasn't 17 years. You get my point.
Yeah, like, Krakoa was a headache.
You know what I mean? Like it lasted forever, bro. So like the way it ended was not good. However, we got some. I tend to just like focus on the fact that we got some really good stories in between those that I thought were really, really, really interesting. So like I've leaned on that, but like yeah, the end of the fall of X like was bad. Like it was not good. If I'm not mistaken, I think Hickman said that he didn't want to end it either, right? Like he didn't. He kind of was forced to
He was
rush it.
forced to end it. They only gave him, I think they told him when he had like 3 or 4 issues left, like, hey, you need to wrap this up.
Okay.
And that makes it kind of tough because if that wasn't his goal to end it at that time, he has to now make this whole picture make sense.
Yeah. Nah, I like what Marquis said here. He's like, yeah, just let him.
That's what I was laughing at.
Shield.
Man, listen, all you did was say bring Daredevil in.
Nah, that scene in when he was fighting Batroc, yo, that scene was still fun. That scene was fun. Man, this man in the elevator, even though he had the shield, man,
Listen,
that's like a goat. That scene is top 3.
So you might dislike this scene. My favorite 2 fight scenes from Captain America in the MCU is when he was fighting himself, his older self, from when he went back in time, and then when him and Bucky were fighting Iron Man. That scene was crazy.
It was crazy. The scene where he first fights Bucky was insane.
Yeah,
because you see, because the thing about it is, it's like Bucky was going in. You know what I mean? And Cap was like, "Oh, I can't pull my punches here," because he my punches, So like Cap started to realize, "Oh shoot! Like no, he's fighting to kill me. So like I have to actually like for real fight back." You know what I mean? And I was like, "Yes, man! Winter Soldier is such a effing great movie.
It is
good. It's so good.
Yo, especially that scene where like, you know, they're fighting on the street. It Cap's all confused and he's like, "Is that who I think it is?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo, I ain't here to play this game with you. I gotta take you out."
Bucky?
Yeah.
the genuine Bucky?
Yeah. Look, see, so Marquis said Cap. Wait, where is it? Oh, Daredevil is Cap without sight.
Okay. Without a super soldier serum. I get what you're saying, you know, like so Daredevil's first and foremost. I mean, geez, Louise, like what an amazing series that was on Netflix. Like that was phenomenal. Daredevil Born Again has not lived up to that yet. It is not.
I didn't even like how they ended the season 1. I was like, wait, that's the end?
So my understanding, right, is that they had to do a lot of different like reshoots and stuff like that for season 1. So it was always going to be kind of clunky because I think the new writers came in. The new writers, I think, only did a few episodes. I think like they not all the episodes were done by them. So I think the second part season or whatever if you want to call it, or second half of the first season, whatever. That I believe is the new writers. I could be wrong. I got to do some more research on that.
Okay, got you. Okay, that makes sense though.
Bucky was fighting Cap like he owed him 50 cents from the 40s.
Yo,
it's a lot of bread, man. It's a lot of bread, man.
Yo, y'all are right.
It's a lot of bread, bro.
So there's a thing. Oh man, I'm gonna word this really wordy because YouTube, I don't want us to get banned, okay?
Okay.
But me and my girl was talking before, and we always wondered, we're like, yo, think about the era Cap was frozen, and then he wakes up in the MCU, and the second person he seen was a black person, and he didn't have a sly remark to say to him. I was like, wait.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, that's actually kind of a interesting thing to think about, right? Because like things were very different.
Yeah,
things were very different when he was, you know, not that Cap would be like that, right? But like things were very different in 1945. You understand what I'm saying?
Look, someone just said, where was Cap during slavery?
Yeah, fam. Like for real, bro. Things are very different back in 1945.
yo, for real. Now, before we get off of this subject, I got a personal question that is related to the Marvel movies, the MCU. I want the chat to chime in, and I want your opinion. Okay?
Yeah.
with
What's going on,
this
Kelvin?
with the serum. Okay, who in the MCU seems stronger between Captain America or U.S. Agent?
Stronger.
Yeah, because look, U.S. Agent, they did a study on that man's body because he was already so crazy without the serum. Look at the things he was doing without the serum. Look how he was whipping that shield around and his training and everything. And then you gave this man the serum. Is he stronger than Cap in the MCU?
So nah, well, I can't judge that in the MCU. I saw Cap hold a helicopter that was trying to fly off. You know what I mean? on some watch me flex. I also saw that man holding Thanos' arm for a little bit too, and Thanos was just like, the F, like, how this dude doing this? You know what I mean?
Okay,
So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
because what I saw U.S. Agent do is not be able to hold the damn boulder by himself in the Thunderbolts. That's the one thing I had. You think I forgot about that?
Where's the log off button? I'm out of here.
This man was awesome. Oh no, my friends, where are they? Please save me.
Oh man.
And then the front, honestly, in that scene with the boulder in the middle of the street, the funniest part to me, bro, was when Yelena came over. Like, what were you doing, Yelena? Like, you are helping to move this boulder. Who are we kidding here?
Are you reading some of these comments right now?
I'm about to.
I'm glad I brought this up. I'm glad I
stalling.
did.
See, somebody said the same thing. They were like, Cap held the helicopter. Quado said the same thing. Cap held the helicopter. Yep. Well, if it's the same serum, theoretically, yes, because he is a pipsqueak before. Fair, but you can't judge willpower. Okay? You can't judge hearts. Don't you understand?
So
the heart look, makes him stronger.
Nigel said U.S. Agent is stronger, but Cap has more battle/fighting knowledge.
Cap, see, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Nigel. I see what you're saying. But then I go back to what he Quest is with me right here. It's like Thanos whooped Hulk and then Cap was holding his hand. Cap's a different beast.
That was a stroll.
Yo. So I do think that like U.S. agents is it the same serum or was it a dumbed down version of this?
So it was a remake, wasn't it?
It was supposed to be a remade version.
Correct.
And I believe that they said in the MCU that nobody has been able to duplicate that version, right?
So was it Agent Serum is a Temu version. He got his serum off of Temu.
Yeah, so keep it raw is going back to what we were talking about. And the thing is like, but that's the reason why people aren't liking Cap is because he originally came out of the ice and lived through the 60s to the present. Now so it is different. It's the MCU version, right, of Cap. That's basically what it is. It's the MCU version of Cap. And I do believe that I have to watch an interview because I do believe that Chip talked about the reason why he made a decision to do it this way that I haven't been able to dive into yet.
Okay, got you.
It's emotional support. Yo,
Jay.
Yo, I'm sorry. I'm seeing what y'all was saying about Yelena now.
Yo, Jay said willpower. Capping a Green Lantern.
You can't judge a man's. This is just like Tom Brady. They said that he didn't have the physical capabilities, but you can't judge heart. Okay. You can't judge heart.
Yo, Marquis said U.S. agent got that Johnson & Johnson shot.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh shoot.
I like the new Cap. They could apparently replicate the super soldier serum. Never understood why they couldn't. Yeah.
So Brick said
but have you dove on a grenade? That's fair. That's a fair question.
I've done it 3 or 4 times. So what I see, Brick said a remake that was meant to not adjust the body composition, but give super strength to be covert.
over or some. Okay, I got you. I get what
Yep,
you're saying.
yep, yep. So okay, I understand what you're saying with that.
Yeah. So the thing, and we already know this. So they've explained this multiple times. The super soldier serum, all it does is just enhance who you already are already. That's the reason
Yep.
why Cap is the Steve Rogers is the way that Steve Rogers is, right? So cool. I get it. 100% understand. Um
I have legit tears. Wow.
Peggy, oh my gosh, don't start this drama. Don't start this
No,
drama.
no,
Peggy
don't
Carter
start.
clears both of them
Don't
because of
start.
plot armor. Stop. Do you know that she can hold an infinity stone? She can hold infinity stones. Were you aware of this information?
Are you
This might
aware?
be new to
Hold on.
new to you.
Are you aware that Loki held a whole drawer full of infinity stones?
You are correct, sir. And all he did was just slide them back in because he was like, these insignificant stones. These are inferior to me.
Oh man.
These are indeed inferior to me. Are you kidding me?
Yo, take the serum. Wait, hold on, it's moving too fast. Take the serum and get a strong jawline. Rough knuckles. Yo.
Rough knuckles, 1,000,000% muscle. All right, hold on. I mean, Sentry got an imperfect serum too, but that went a little. Yeah, that one was a little different though, Jay. That was a different
situation.
That went a whole different. I did like the reference though in the movie where Homegirl was just like, "Hey, you give the super soldier serum to Steve Rogers, you get Captain America. You give this crap to Bob." You get a whole different beast, bro.
Can I just say my sister just watched that over the weekend in Cody
while I
was on vacation.
Yeah.
And my favorite moment, and I think it might be hers too, was when it was like, well, I'm keeping the shield to see if he can bend it back. And he's just like, you can't have Bob without the void. You can't have.
Actually, Thunderbolts, I watched it with my wife for the first time this week. Man, I'm telling you, that thing is funny, man.
Yeah.
That movie is hilarious.
I still walk around saying, my car is bulletproof.
Yeah.
Ish.
Bulletproof. That's funny, man. Oh man, but I'm telling you, the funniest part of that entire movie was my man was just like, I got this. Jumps all the way up. It just drops straight back.
Yo. So
good times.
Oh,
good times.
All right. So here's a topic I really want to talk about because I've been holding this in all day. Okay.
All right.
And please, y'all chime in. Did anyone see the new series for the new Wakanda coming out? Oh, hold on.
I'm not reading it. What damn, this is funny. Yo, that's another funny part where when they saw the chicken, and it was like, I was on meth.
Oh man.
Oh crap. Oh.
Yo.
Actually, you know what? We forgot to mention this. This is on Peggy Carter's resume, bro. She is now a watcher. Do you understand?
Yeah.
She's a watcher now. Watch out now.
Jay, yes, there is a new series coming out. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, so there's a new series called Eyes of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Eyes of Wakanda.
I don't know how I feel about this, bro. After seeing the trailer, I'm not a fan of the art style. It gives me too much of that new Disney vibe. I know Disney's the one doing it, but like, I'm thinking about my kids. You get what I'm saying?
It's like it's the what if style, the animation style all over again. I'm like, what? I don't. So here's the thing, like, I like a lot of the animation series because at least I can watch it with my kids, for the most part. So like, because I'll be real with you, like a lot of the movies now I can't. I used to be able to watch a lot of these movies with my daughter, like my oldest daughter. She loves the Marvel stuff, but there's been a lot of them where I'm like, nah, you can't watch this. Like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I'm like, nope. You can't watch that, boo. I know you're gonna have nightmares for like 5 weeks. You're gonna try to be in our bed, not doing it. You know, like,
Yo,
like,
especially with Zombie Strange.
yeah, I'm like, nope. You can't watch that. Guardians of the Galaxy, that one F-bomb was just like, nope, that's too much. Can't do it. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's been a lot of Quantum Mania kind of got a little too racy too. So I was just like, nah, I can't do it.
Brick hit it on the nail with what I was thinking. It's a paper mache style. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Yeah, and also too, like, I don't really understand it was a very short 30-second or 15-second trailer. I didn't really get much information from that. So I don't really know exactly what the show is about, right?
The only thing I realize is I don't think we've seen T'Challa or Shuri. So is this a prequel, like the beginning of Wakanda? I don't know what to take of this.
So I think we heard the guy that plays T'Chaka, like the older version of T'Chaka. I think that we heard his voice doing the opening narration and everything like that. So like I was like, okay, maybe it's like a flashback story of like what happened before T'Challa's time, which, to be honest with you, like, to be fair, like, I'm interested in that story. Like, I'm all for it if they decide to go in that direction. It's just, once again, one of those things where I go back to say it's hard to like really try to figure out what to be like excited about, because I still think, and maybe I'm wrong, I still think a lot of us are in the boat of we need something really important to the MCU to actually show up, because we haven't had anything. You know, we haven't had anything that seems like really important. Like Deadpool and Wolverine was fun. Like
but the storyline was trash.
The storyline, and I know a lot of people gonna feel some type of way about that. Tell me what was good about the storyline of Deadpool.
There was no storyline.
With that being said, that movie was still an 8.5 to 9 out of 10, just simply because it was fun as hell. Like, if that's like, because that's all we needed from Deadpool and Wolverine. We didn't need storyline. What the hell we need a storyline for?
We just need action.
We just wanted to see y'all beat the crap out of each other and then beat the crap out of other people. That's
it. Variants of you.
Right. And that was fine. Change nothing.
Yeah. So, and you know, I seen this. I think it was just really early this morning.
This is true, Jay. This is also the reason why I would not want to have my child watch this as well.
I seen the trailer for the Eyes of Wakanda, I think at like 6 a.m. this morning. And I was like, oh, I'm half asleep. Maybe I just didn't give it a chance. So I watched it again before we went live. My thing is like after, and I'm not seeing it to compare, but in a sense you have to. After seeing like what they did with X-Men 92, it's like, this is, I mean, not 92, 97. It's like, this is not what I meant when I said I wanted more animated stuff from Marvel.
Yeah, I feel you.
This wasn't it.
I feel you. It's once again, what I'm looking forward to at this point is Wonder Man. Like, I'm waiting until December for a series on TV that I'm actually somewhat interested in. And once again, I'm not interested in Wonder Man because I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be great.
I don't know much about him, so
Wonder Man is a very cool, interesting character. Super annoying in the comics, but
okay.
But like intentionally that way. You know what I mean? So like it's not a problem. When you know what a character's supposed to be, it's easier for you to accept who they are. But what I will say is that like what they're doing in this series is different, because by my understanding, like Wonder Man is not supposed to like have powers, but he's supposed to be playing a character in a movie that does have powers. But Wonder Man in the comics has powers, and yes, he is also an actor. So I just think it's a very interesting spin on that story. And also, you got my guy Trevor in it, so like I'm already for it. You know what I'm saying? Anything with Trevor, I'm down for it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So Brick, just so there was no misunderstanding, that wasn't me trash talking X-Men 97. I thought that was perfectly delivered. Animation, storyline. I had emotions with that series.
Yo,
I had laughter,
I
anger, a sadness.
I still cannot read. The only episode I've not rewatched in that entire series is the one where Gambit dies.
Yeah, I
Cannot do
can't
it.
rewatch it.
Cannot do that, bro. I genuinely cannot do it.
Yeah, no, I won't rewatch that. And that's what I'm saying. I love X-Men 97.
Yeah, X-Men 97 was I thought was really good series. The ending was perfect, changed nothing. And then somebody mentioned Friendly Neighborhood
change
Spider-Man.
something. Bring Gambit back.
Fine.
Change nothing else.
Yeah, fine. So yeah.
Brick said, "Why you say that? I blocked it from my memory."
My fault, yo. Yeah, sorry. I cannot unforget it. I cannot. Yeah, I can't. So X-Men. So Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was actually like my kids love that show. They love Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
I think that's the series me and you talked about that I did not watch, the one where like Norman Osborn was like a different race or something like that.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of backlash. Yeah, so I didn't. There's so many shows, man. It's honestly,
a lot. It's not bad at all. Like I enjoyed watching that series. Like I thought it was pretty damn cool. It just like especially him going through all the different suits and all that stuff, and I felt like we got they gave me enough of Nico, but didn't give me enough of Nico at the same time. So I'm just like, oh, what's going on with her? Like so there was a lot of really cool, fun stuff going on there. I enjoyed. Doc Ock was interesting. So was Norman Osborn. Like there was a lot of really interesting stuff going on. The whole multiverse thing though was like a little clunky, but I've always realized like multiverses are just clunky in general. So they're either really good or they're just like, this is super confusing.
Okay.
Like so, but I enjoyed Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Like I've watched. There's a couple episodes I've rewatched just because like the kids are just like, I want to watch that one. I want to watch that one. So like, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's the show I'm gonna have to give a look into. That's where me and you are different. You don't watch anime as much, so I have a year supply of anime I'm watching in the midst of all the comic books and the series, and so it's like I got a full plate.
Yeah. Wasn't the Jay? That is the one episode that there's another episode that I did not rewatch as well. See, that's the thing about there was a couple gripes that, like I loved X-Men 97, right? But there were a couple gripes that I had with that show too. Like the whole how they kept on like changing like life death for Storm, or the way they kept on like splitting those things up. I wasn't a huge fan of that either. I feel like they kind of like glossed over her claustrophobia a little bit. They kind of use it as a gimmick. So like I don't know, like there was some things about it I didn't love, but also like man, Bastion was great. Like he was phenomenal, man. Like he was great. Cyclops in that first episode,
my X-Men,
bro. Yo, he was being I was like, this is the Cyclops I love. Come on.
When he was moonwalking with the beam, bro, he said, I was like, yo. Keeping it raw. Yeah, we did read the Godzilla versus Thor. We covered it on the channel. We was talking about that a little earlier, but it was good.
It was great. I mean, seeing GMK Godzilla back, let's go. And that's all we talked about it earlier. That's all setting up right here for this. If you haven't seen it,
for Iron Godzilla.
Yeah. Godzilla destroys the Marvel universe. That was all setting up for that right there. And
here's my question while you talk about what you showed this too.
This right here.
I mean, Deadpool's out here destroying the Marvel universe. Godzilla about to destroy the Marvel universe. Yo, Marvel don't like Marvel.
Nah, for real, fam. They don't, bro. They really do not like Marvel. They got Doom destroying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Because let's be real, only Doom can save us. Okay.
Yo, listen. He did give free healthcare to everybody. Minimize violence. He did a lot.
He did some things. He did do some things. Now you understand me. At what cost? I don't really know, but
Yo, I'm trying to think. Like Marvel's got a big. Yo, Marvel just wakes up like, hey, how can we say F ourselves today?
yeah, yo, they really don't care about themselves. That you know what the funny thing is? Like, I wonder if they would ever do an actual like reboot. I know that they did like a soft
Of what, the
reboot,
MCU
the
or
MCU, no, the Marvel comic universe.
okay, gotcha.
I wonder if they ever will reboot things. They did a soft reboot with after Secret Wars, but like I mean, like for real, like reboot,
like
stuff.
full reboot. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelvin, drop a comment about that on the actual video. And when we get off the chat, I'll definitely chat with you on there and tell you what animes I'm watching and stuff like that, because I got a long list.
I'm still watching One Punch Man currently.
So Quanos, yeah, Secret Wars was a light reboot. It was not a full reboot like I think he's trying to say.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty light. It wasn't like, oh yeah, we reset. From what I can remember,
yeah,
they didn't do a full reboot.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Keeping it raw. Yeah, I've been covering the Superior Avengers. Yo, that has been wild.
Oh, Superior Avengers.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
So comics that I'm really loving right now too. So yeah, obviously, of course, a lot of stuff. Predator versus Spider-Man is probably one of my favorite comics right now that I'm covering. Ultimate Spider-Man obviously is just bananas. It's just really good.
It's goated right now.
There's nothing.
It's goated.
It's the best stuff that's going on right now. Also, New Gods.
Yeah, that last issue.
New Gods right now from DC. I love New Gods.
That last issue you covered was crazy.
It was a few issues, bro. It was issues 5, 6, 7 or something like that. It was amazing. I loved it.
Straight crazy.
Listen, the thing about New Gods though, and somebody did comment on it, and it's true. It's very true. There's just like too many characters to keep up with.
Yeah.
There's too many characters to keep up with. So it just all gets overly confusing. And you're just like, wow. And then on top of that too, they're talking about so much lore. It's
a complicated read.
It's a complicated story, right? To really kind of keep up with, and I think that's the reason why I don't see a lot of, like our counterparts cover it, because I think it can get very, very, very confusing, not to like read per se, but to like explain. It gets really explaining. I started reading the God Butcher because that's so good. I have to cover that one of these days. Like I will probably cover that entire arc. I'll probably do that in an entire video. That arc is so good.
Yeah, I'm right here looking at some of these comments too. I think Marvel's afraid of what happened to DC with the New 52. They had to reboot the reboot. Yeah, the New 52 was not it, man. That wasn't it.
The Predators draw blood in a way that it feels fair. Even a cut on spot. Right. Yeah, you remember when you saw the disc hitting them? Yeah, they don't play. So we'll probably start doing some more older things, as we kind of go on a little bit here. The only thing that really stops us is just time, right? It's time. Like even this past week, we only had time to basically cover 2 videos, and that was primarily because I was primarily like I'm a 2 video tap out, throughout the weeks now, because I got job, kids, wife,
and I was out of state on vacation, so I was gone.
Yeah, you were completely out. You know what I mean? So that had a little bit of a thing too. So yeah, some of these older stories we'll definitely start getting into them, because there's a lot of, like, to be fair, like the new comics are okay, but there's nothing like some of these older comics that really make you say like, whoa, this was.
I don't know if you read it before I did the cover or not, but that's why I was like, yo, I have to cover the whole introduction to Galactus. Like that was just a good read. and a funny one at that, you know,
It's real
for
funny.
its time.
Yeah, real good stuff. I've been catching up on a lot of like Superman stories because I never really started reading Superman. I'm pretty late to DC Comics in general. I'm pretty late to DC Comics. So a lot of what I'm reading right now is just like catching up on some old Superman stories, so or old-ish, you know. That's why you saw me cover Kingdom Come on the channel. All that's like an alternate universe. You know, I recently read All-Star Superman. There's Superman Up in the Sky. There's Superman Birthright. I've been reading a lot of those stories. I just haven't covered them on the channel, just due to it takes time to like really kind of condense those stories and put it into one video.
I really wish.
Appreciate you, Brick. Thank you.
Oh yeah, definitely appreciate that. One of the reads I've been reading, and I wish we can cover it on the channel, but I don't think it'll get pushed at all because of what we cover.
Yeah,
man, Spawn has gone crazy.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know you were telling me about that.
Spawn's dark, but it is crazy and it's amazing.
Cosmic Armor Superman. All right, hold on. I'm saying hold on. I have like a list that I keep. So go ahead. Go ahead. You can talk. I'm just punching this in.
I wish I can cover that. Same thing with like I read the first 4 issues recently for Transformers because you kept bringing it up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is actually pretty dope.
That there's also damn it. Oh, Thundercats. That's also
I forgot they have one. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when I say old, I mean like pre 20, 15. You know what I mean? Like those type of stories I'm talking about.
Yeah, not everything we talk about is going on like 1960s, you know?
Yeah.
Another one you got to read since you've been doing all the Superman ones. Oh my god, which one is it? Hold on, let me look real quick. Have you read the Superman Prime?
No.
1 million. Oh man, bro.
Yeah, so no, I haven't read that one. Well, I mean, that's not entirely true. I mean, I know the story because I've listened to videos of it being covered, but I've not like physically read it myself.
That was a good one. Don't make me feel old. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff we'd want to cover on the channel. It's just unfortunately, the algorithm isn't friendly for certain things. Superman Prime is ridiculous. He might be. That's the one I bring up when I'm like, when people are like, can he beat Goku? I'm like, have you seen Superman Prime?
Goku. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, correction. It was Superboy. It is Superboy. Correction.
No, I think. Give me a second.
I'm about 98% sure it's Superboy Prime.
No, Superman Prime 1 million is a thing. Then you have,
yeah. So they both have one. I've read both then.
All right. Sorry, I'm jotting down some names on the list here. So y'all.
Oh no. I'm looking at some of this stuff too because like Energon Universe. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah, so that's the thing. Superman has no limit. That's why he's kind of a cheat code.
Yeah, and they've strategically wrote him in a way too where like he's not doing too much as well. Which of course I know some people kind of get a little upset about that. Just simply because there's just but the thing about it is like when you know a character is that powerful, like how boring is that story to be like, yeah, he won in one punch. He's One Punch Man.
I was about to say we got a whole series that shows you that.
No, the Batman who laughs. I'm good on.
Yo, that series is I told you, bro. That's one of my favorite series.
I did a poll on the channel once. I was just like, who would you rather be under the rule of? And
and the fact that people were saying him was crazy.
The fact that joint got 3%, period, was like absurd. Like that. No one should ever pick this man.
I'm like, yo, did y'all read the same comic books?
Y'all should never. There should have been no one who voted for this man.
Listen,
if you voted for him, you're twisted.
I would have voted for Reverse Flash before him.
Reverse Flash. Listen, as long as your name is not Barry Allen, you're probably fine.
Listen.
Or as long as you're not close to Barry Allen in any sort of which way.
So for all you guys, we did a video when we used to cover like movie channels and stuff. Actually, we have so many videos. I don't even know if it's on this channel.
Yeah,
but
we
had a video about the top 10 like pettiest moments for Reverse Flash. It's one of my favorites. And one of the petty things that happened is like, yo, this man hid under Barry. He went back in time to when Barry was a kid and hid under this man's bed and scared him. And then like Barry was in a baseball game and he sat there and purposely moved the bat.
Oh, just so that he would lose the game or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, by far the pettiest villain ever is Reverse Flash.
Yes.
No ifs, ands, no buts about nothing. That man is petty as a heck, and I love it.
Look, Jay said, I remember that video.
that was way back in the day where I was doing video edits. No, well,
yo, the fastest Karen alive. I'm done.
The fastest Karen. Oh boy, but listen, we appreciate y'all being here, man. These are fun. Next week, we should be live again. We're gonna talk about soups because we're watching it tomorrow. Yeah, me and you are gonna go watch that tomorrow. Leaving the wife, leaving the girl, leaving the kids, and then paying for it the next day when we but we're gonna go watch that tomorrow. I will say it depends on how the week goes. We might do spoilers. We might not do spoilers the following Monday. Let me know when y'all gonna go see it because I'm curious about that too as well. Anything you guys say, Des?
No. Oh yeah, I'm going in 4D too. It's about to be crazy. Listen. I just want to say this though. Thank you for everyone who tuned in with us. Yo, y'all have me actually in tears, laughing that hard. Yo, for real. These are the moments we go live for to connect with you guys, get your inputs, hear you guys out. I love doing this, so definitely stay tuned with us. We're just gonna get bigger.
Yeah. I don't remember what we're doing. I honestly I gotta look at the tickets to figure out what we're doing. I know I'm doing Fantastic Four in IMAX. I don't know if
that's the one I meant. I'm sorry, I'm seeing Fantastic Four in 4D.
Fantastic Four, you seen it in 4D? Okay,
yes.
That's dope. I know I'm seeing it in IMAX for sure. So for Fantastic Four, but I'm not 4D. I feel like that would just give me too much mental stimulation. I don't think I can handle that. But all right, listen, we appreciate y'all. Of course, check out our links that are down below in the description. Always want to make mention to as well. You guys can join if you want looking for other additional ways to be able to support us. You can support us here either by becoming a Keep It in Comic channel member on YouTube, or you can also do that over on Patreon as well. That's just one of the ways that you can support. Also, you can look at our merch store as well. And grab some merch over there for you too. We're gonna be having some new merch come out later on this week as well. But listen, we appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you guys being here, appreciate you guys commenting. Thank you so much. And until next time, thank you guys. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, what do I usually say? Oh, bye. Thank you for kicking it. We keep it a comic. All right, y'all.
Catch you on the next one.
Oh man.